everybody, my name is Miss Cindra and I am from Art Nook School and Studio. We are located in South Carolina and today we are going to be drawing a snowflake with you. Here at Art Nook we believe that anybody can learn how to draw and anybody can be an artist, and we boil things down to a step-by-step instruction. So the first thing that every artist needs to know is that there's 3 types of lines. The 3 kinds of lines that you will want to know are straight lines. Straight lines can go up and down or side to side, but they have no bend in them. They also can go diagonal. The next type of line is a curved line. A curved line is a line that has a bend in it. So it can be like the letter C. It could be a circle. It could even be a spiral. The last type of line is an organic line. Organic lines are lines that we tell our little kids are wiggly squiggly lines. So they are lines that are found in nature. So it could be like the top of a mountain range or the edge of a puddle. They're going to be lines that have a wiggle in them. Those are the 3 types of lines, and if you know those 3 types of lines, you can draw anything in the whole wide world. So today we're going to be drawing a snowflake. When we start a drawing, the first thing we want to do is open our marker and put the cap on the back. Put this marker in your drawing hand and then take out your other finger. This is going to be our planning finger. When you take your finger, we're going to be starting on the side of our picture in the middle. Take your finger and put it on the side of your picture. Next, we're going to bring out our other fingers to create a 3-finger space. So notice how I have 3 fingers on the side of my picture now. Whenever you have 3 fingers there, you can go ahead and place a teeny dot. Okay, next we're going to be doing a curve line. Remember that a curved line can be a circle, so we're going to be creating a circle. Go ahead and add a nice big circle on your paper. When you're done with that circle, we're going to go on to the next step. We're going to start at the very top of our circle and add a straight line coming out. Notice how it's coming almost to the top of my picture. Next, we're going to add 2 V shapes. So we're going to add a straight line coming down at an angle. Do the same thing on the other side. Notice how we created a V. Do that a second time, right above it. Next, we're going to turn our paper just a little bit and go ahead and draw another straight line. Repeat the V, so straight line down at an angle, straight line up, and do that again. Let's turn our paper again. Straight line out, nice and long. Add your V shape. Add another V shape. Don't forget to turn that paper. Add another straight line. Add your V shape, your second V shape. Turn that paper again. And we're going to go ahead and continue to do this until we go all the way around our snowflake. Notice how we're leaving a nice big space between each of our lines. When we are doing this with our little ones, their idea is going to be to go very close together. So when you are helping your little one, make sure that you're really trying to get them to space out these lines, because when it goes to the next step, we're going to need that space. Go ahead and turn your paper again. Straight line, our 2 V shapes. Okay, now as I turn my paper again, you'll see that my last 1 or 2 parts of my snowflake are going to be going off of my paper. That's okay, that's what we want. That will make an interesting composition for our kids. Go ahead and fit, if you can, go ahead and fit a V shape or maybe 2 on there. And then add that final portion of your snowflake. Now, remember that if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, that's okay. Snowflakes are different in nature, and they're going to be different on our picture, and that's what's so cool about art. Everybody has their own style. So if you don't have the same number of parts of your snowflake, that's okay. That's what we want. If you don't have enough space for your V shapes, that's okay. That's what we want. Next, we're going to move on to our bleeding tissue paper. Moving on to our bleeding tissue paper, the things that we're going to need from our box are water and our squares of the bleeding tissue paper. The first thing that we'll want to do is we'll want to be adding water with our paintbrush. This is just plain water. So we're going to just go ahead and paint a nice thick coat of water on top of our snowflake, and we're trying to cover the whole paper. Notice how I'm using a lot of water, and it's almost like a little puddle along the whole surface of my paper. Once I've got a good coat of water, next I'm going to be bringing on my bleeding tissue paper. So we have all sorts of shades of blues and purples and greens. So go ahead and just place your bleeding tissue paper right on, and you can go any direction and any order. When we do it, we want to try and overlap our pieces so that we don't have any white space. Okay, now once you have a few pieces on, you'll start to see that they're not all sticking to the water that we have on here. So we want to take our brush and go right back over it with water to help them stick down. Next, we're going to go ahead and add more pieces. And add our water on top. You can even overlap some of your colors. So I'm going to put a purple up here, right on top of my blue. Moving on. Grab more pieces and put them on. Okay. When your whole surface of your paper is covered, you're going to then take this and go to the blow dryer. You can let it air dry. It will take a little while. It could take up to 24 hours to air dry, or if you will want to move on, you can always take it to the blow dryer to get it dry faster. Okay. So when we're blow drying, you may at your house want to put something underneath on your table, because this bleeding tissue paper will bleed onto your table. Here at Art Nook, we don't mind messes, but at your house, you may want something underneath it. When you are going to start blow drying, you want to start on low because we want this to dry slowly so that the dye from the tissue paper will bleed into the paper. The blow drying process will take you about 10 minutes, and whenever you see it start to visually start to dry, you can go ahead and turn your blow dryer up to high. You'll start to see all of the bleeding tissue paper dry so much that it'll start to come off. When your paper is all dry and the bleeding tissue paper has come off of it, now you'll just have the dye left from the bleeding tissue paper. The next step is glue. When you're gluing your snowflake, you may need to help your little one direct where the glue is going. You're going to start in the middle and begin to fill the middle circle with glue. Try your best to stay inside that outline that we created. But again, every snowflake is different, so if you go outside the lines a little bit, that's okay. Next, we're going to be going up each line of our snowflake, and you can do this with a little bit more pressure so that it's a little thicker than even the line that we drew. Next, you'll go on each of the lines of our V shapes. And we'll just go ahead and repeat that. It may help your little one to turn the image in the same way that we were doing when we were drawing. Continue to turn your paper as you add more glue. When you're finished with the glue and you have a nice thick layer of glue on here, remember that it's wet. You don't want to pick up your paper or let it drip. The next step is to add our glitter. When you add our glitter, you want to make sure not to dump it all in one space. We're wanting to have the glitter be all over our snowflake. So we're going to go ahead and take this glitter and just lightly tap, trying to get the glitter to spread out throughout our whole snowflake. If you don't have enough glitter, you can always take another piece of paper, dump the glitter out onto the piece of paper, and then pour that glitter back on to the spaces that it's needed. You may need to do that once or twice. And then when you are completely happy with your snowflake and the coverage of the glitter, you can go ahead and tap that off one more time. Lay your snowflake flat, let it dry completely, and then be sure to sign your artwork. Remember that if yours doesn't look exactly like the person's next to you, or like mine, that's okay. Every snowflake is different, and that is what is so cool about art.